Everyone, my name is Jaden.
My name is Eli.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah YouTube channel.
And we're so glad that you are here with us today.
Because we know your time is valuable, and we know that there are a lot of other things you could possibly be doing. And so thank you for the few folks that tune in. Here we are. And so we are going over the law, statutes, and commands of our Creator, and we are barreling down this list, and we are now at 431 of this list. And every night that we do this list, it gets a little bit worse because they never proofread this entire thing. So I don't know where this list came from, but it's completely wrong. So we're just fixing it as we go. And so let's go through these. And it is important that we go through these because we are supposed to go through these. It is actually a command that we know the commands and that we write the law, statutes, and commands upon our door frames, upon our hearts, minds, and souls, and everywhere in our house. And so it's supposed to be something exciting that we talk about in the morning. We're supposed to, just embed our lives with it. And so it's stuff we should know. 431, every person must bring a sin offering for his transgression, Leviticus 4:27 and 28.
And if any being of the people of the land sins by mistake, by doing any of the commands of Yahuwah, which are not to be done, and shall be guilty, or if his sin which he has sinned shall be made known to him, then he shall bring as a offering a female goat, a perfect one, for his sin which he has sinned.
Yep, and again, there's laws for men, women, when you were back in the days of the priests, and we're definitely not there, so these wouldn't quite account for us today. I suppose in the kingdom, if we were still sinning, then I would suppose it would go down, but that is for old school, back in the days. 432, an unintentional sin requires a sin offering when discovered, Leviticus 5:17 and 18.
And when any being sins and has done what is not to be done, any of the commands of Yahuwah, though he knew it not, yet he shall be guilty and shall bear his wickedness. Then he shall bring the Kohen a ram, a perfect one, from the flock, with your evaluation as a guilt offering. And the Kohen shall make atonement for his mistake he committed unintentionally, though he did not know it, and it shall be forgiven him.
Yeah, so I guess there's a difference between intentional and unintentional sin. So unintentional, obviously, stuff we wouldn't know about. We lean our hand against a tree and there's like a dead corpse or something right there, and we make ourselves unclean. Unintentional sin, kind of a thing like that. And I guess it's not even a sin, touching a dead corpse. It makes us unclean, but it's not a sin. Okay, 433. It was a repeat of the last one. So we're going to go to 434. For certain sins, a wealthy person will offer an animal, and the poor will offer doves, pigeons, or meal as prescribed. Leviticus 5:7-11.
All right, it says, and if he is unable to bring a lamb, and then he shall bring to Yahuwah, he who has sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the Kohen, who shall bring near that which he is for the sin offering, and wring off its head from its neck, but not sever it.
Right. So wealthy people, they would bring like probably a ram.
Or a sheep.
A sheep, yeah. So 435, the court must bring an offering when it rules in error or when the community sins. Leviticus 4:13.
And if the entire congregation of Israel strays by mistake, and the matter has been hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done any of the commands of Yahuwah which are not to be done, and shall be guilty. When the sin which they have sinned becomes known, then the assembly shall bring a young bull for the sin, and bring it before the tent of appointment.
Does it say anything about a court?
I think a court is the assembly.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a courtyard.
Okay, so yeah. That makes sense. 436, a woman with an irregular discharge must bring an offering. Leviticus 15:28 and 29.
But if she is cleansed of her discharge, then she shall count for herself 7 days, and after that she is clean. And on the 8th day she takes for herself 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and shall bring them to the Kohen, to the door of the tent of appointment.
I'm not even going down this road, so it is what it says. 437, a woman who gives birth must bring an offering when she is purified. Leviticus 12:6.
And when the days of her cleansing are completed, for a son or for a daughter, she brings to the Kohen a lamb a year old as a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove as a sin offering at the door to the door of the tent of appointment.
And so how long is a woman unclean when she gives birth to a male and a female? Do you guys
So when
remember?
she's unclean with a male, it's 33 days, and when it's a female, it's 66 days.
Yep. And so those gave us some insights into Adam and Eve, and when, because a lot of people think that Cain was born in the garden, but he was actually...
It was after they got kicked out of the garden.
Yeah, and so
It states that too.
What's that?
It states that. It talks about how they got kicked out of the garden, and then they had Cain and Abel.
Right, and but a lot of people are getting confused.
They think Cain was in.
A lot of people think the serpent is the father of Cain, and now there's like the serpent seed, but it doesn't say that. It clearly does not say that anywhere.
Never says that.
The serpent seed, I think Yah would have just had a flood right there and started over.
Oh yeah, because it would have been corrupted.
He'd be like, nah, forget this.
Yeah, so Cain was not that, but there were giants that did corrupt the DNA for sure. Where am I at, boys? For a woman who gives birth, 438. A man who is cured of a chronic discharge must bring an offering after immersing in the bath. Leviticus 15, 13, and 14.
All right. Verses 13 to 14. Okay. And when he who has a discharge is cleansed of his discharge, then he shall count for himself 7 days for his cleansing, and shall wash his garments, and shall bathe his flesh in running water, and be clean. And on the 8th day he takes for himself 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and shall come before Yahuwah to the door of the tent of appointment, and shall give them to the Kohen. So this is talking about when they had leprosy, or they had like their skin's like pussing out.
But it doesn't say chronic in there, right?
No, it said a different translation.
Right. Okay. So it's. I don't know if it's a chronic discharge. It's any discharge.
Yeah, any discharge, right?
Right. And so if you're like pussing out or something of the sort,
yeah, you got the Kohen has to inspect it, then you have to go through a whole cleansing process.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Eli, for fixing that as we go. 439. One who is cured of a skin disease must bring an offering. Leviticus 14:10.
And on the 8th day he takes 2 male lambs, perfect ones, and 1 ewe lamb, a year old, a perfect one, 3/10 parts of fine flour mixed with oil, as a grain offering, and 1 log of oil.
Yeah, and I guess if you're cured from a skin disease, that's a huge deal. That's a bad news brown.
Yeah, you had leprosy or some kind of disease.
And that's probably, most people probably don't get cured from that kind of stuff. They probably just die off. All right, 440 says repeat again, not to substitute another beast for one scheduled for sacrifice. We did that one yesterday, right?
Yeah.
441, again, a repeat. The new animal along with the substituted one retains consecration. We did read that one. I remember that one yesterday. Another repeat. Okay, not to change consecrated animals from one type of offering to another. Leviticus 27:26. These guys have never gone through these commandments or something. I do not understand. 443. Everyone under a roof with a corpse is unclean. Numbers 19:14.
This is the Torah. When a man dies in a tent, all that comes into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days.
Okay, I mean, it says it is what it is. Anyone have anything to add?
I mean, if someone dies, I guess unclean.
7 days, yeah. Under the tent. I mean, you don't even have to touch the corpse, but just because...
I'd say probably with the house as well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know. You just fall, you are unclean. And then I guess if you have to move it...
You'd definitely be unclean.
And then especially where they had the death rites and death stuff like they did. I mean, they were like... It took them a while to bury them. It wasn't just like, they die and they stick them in. They had like, that's why our Messiah says, let the dead bury the dead, because it was an actual... It took weeks, to everyone's like crying for days and days and things of that nature.
So they don't do like they do anymore, where the person dies, you go embalm them and then bury them.
It was an Egyptian thing. I don't think embalming was definitely an Egyptian thing. I think for the most part, people just like stick you in the grave. And
I'm pretty sure Lazarus woke up and I'm pretty sure mentioned that he was pretty smelly.
Yeah, he definitely was embalmed. Yeah. There we go. Okay, 444. Carry out the procedure of the red heifer. And Numbers 19:9. We don't exactly know what the red heifer is either.
1919.
Is it 1919?
No, it's 1909.
1999.
And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and lay them up without the camp in a clean place. And it shall be kept for the assembly of the children of Yasharel for a water of separation. It is a purification for sin. And up here it talks all about like this big procedure of like doing things with the red heifer.
Yeah, and there's some end time stuff about the red heifer. Something in the I don't know, something about the end times, and I know Israel like a few years ago ended up with a red heifer or something.
Is a red heifer really red, or is that just like
no? This was a red heifer. This was like there's something about this red heifer. And again, those of you out there who actually know, and a lot of you guys have helped us out and written in stuff, especially about scattering the seeds. We really truly appreciate that. If you know anything about the red heifer, I don't know what it's all about. So somebody does. 445. A clean person sprinkles water on those who are unclean. Numbers 19 through 21.
And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day. And on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at evening. But the man that shall be unclean shall not purify himself. That soul shall be cut off from among the assembly, because he has defiled the sanctuary of Yahuwah. The water of separation has not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual statute unto them, that he that sprinkles the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that touches the water of separation shall be unclean until evening.
So why do you suppose it is the whole sprinkling of water on those are what are they talking about right here?
Well, it's about cleaning unclean people.
And also it's like a ritual. This is like a ritual to get back in the club, to get uncling, to get cling from uncling. Then you're ending up with these kind of rituals and things of that nature. So I don't know why they ritualize stuff up other than being cling is I guess a plus. Yeah, I don't know. So some of these we just do not know, but we still read them anyway, and if they apply to us, then we keep them. But unfortunately, we do not have Levites, we don't have temples, we don't have the person sprinkling water on those of us who are unclean. 446. The priest's role is governed by the law when dealing with matters of skin disease. Leviticus 13, 12, and 13.
And if leprosy breaks out all over the skin, and leprosy shall cover all the skin of the infected one, from his head to his foot, wherever the Kohen looks, then the Kohen shall look and see if leprosy has covered all his body, and he shall pronounce the infected one clean. It has turned white. He is clean.
Yeah, or unclean by what the priest says. Okay, so 447. So the priest is actually like the doctor. Nowadays they have doctors, and they actually have people in white coats, and their logo is like this staff with like some wings at the top and a couple of snakes crisscrossing up the thing. It's like the rod of Hermes is what they actually call the thing. But I think it's a little bit different. I think I'd rather have a priest being my doctor versus these sideshows that are always trying to jam you in the arms with Cobra Commander's venom.
So I've got a rash. Here, have some pills.
Yeah,
You're a priest. You have a rash. Go bathe in some water.
Oh yeah, you got the. All right.
Go take a shower.
Yeah, here, take a shot. Okay, yeah, we're not medical people. We're not friends of the medical teams around here. Not after we saw since 2019, 2020. Where are we at, folks?
447.
Okay, gentlemen, you guys are young. I need you guys to keep an eye on this. I'm old and I keep losing my place, so hook me up. The afflicted must do as the priest says, Deuteronomy 24:8.
Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that you guard diligently and do according to all that the priests, the Levites, shall teach you, as I commanded them, so you shall guard to do.
Yes, and so that is the job of the priest, to make sure people are clean, make sure their houses are clean, and houses can actually get dirty, right, boys?
Yeah.
And so what happens if there's like leprosy or some sickness in the house?
I don't understand.
That house was all like unclean. Like they had to inspect the walls and it had like
if it was in the walls,
stuff on it. They ripped the
destroyed
entire
it.
house.
Tore the house
So
down.
would this be like wooden walls then?
I would think it would probably be more like well, I mean it would
like
be
the clay plaster. Right?
I don't know what they did back in the day.
I don't know how you get leprosy in brick
tents.
walls.
Everybody's in tents, and it wasn't until the days of David they had houses, I believe. But I do not know that as well.
Thinking when they went into Canaan, 'cause Canaan were like, I guess we're really civilized people.
Somebody had caves somewhere, and they adapted from caves to houses.
Yeah.
So that's where they went. But yeah, there's a lot of caves, a lot of things of that nature.
House.
Yes. Where are we at, gentlemen?
448.
448. The afflicted must not shave signs of impurity in his hair. What? Leviticus 13:33.
Then he shall shave himself. But the eruption he does not shave, and the Kohen shall shut up the eruption another 7 days.
Okay, so if he has an eruption and he doesn't
So
shave.
yeah, if he has like a
So you'll
spot.
basically like shave all around the spot, but leave the spot where it's there.
It's one funky looking haircut.
Why would that happen? Why would you?
I think something about the hair. You want
Probably like cutting it open, actually cutting it open.
Might
or-
spread to the other part of the hair or something too.
All right, so when you guys cut hair, if you cut down, if you shave it, see, I don't know, because if you cut and shave your hair, you're actually opening up like little tiny blood follicles on your hair. I used to shave my hair all the time, and so you'd shave it with a straight razor. So if you leave the hair there, that area wouldn't be like open to those wounds. I would also say that if you shave the hair down like with a razor, you might actually get like more skin sickness because it would travel, I would imagine. But I don't know. So it does say not to shave the hair where it's like pussing out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So good news. You get hair. 449. A skin diseased person will tear his clothes, cut his hair, and cry out, unclean, unclean. Leviticus 13:45.
It says, as for the leper who has the infection, his garments are torn and his head is uncovered, and he has to cover his upper lip and cry, unclean, unclean.
So why is this guy out there screaming unclean, unclean?
So
nobody
stay
gets
away from
near
him
him.
because I mean, if he has leprosy, that's going to spread to all the rest of the camp. I mean, that's how to wipe out an entire camp of people.
So if you didn't want to
contagious.
hang out near people, you'd probably just start yelling unclean, unclean, and people from
Oh, no,
around the
not-
villages would run.
Not
Or they'd
that.
pick up
Unclean,
stones.
Unclean.
Or start running towards a whole group of people yelling unclean, unclean, and watch a riot.
Yeah, I bet they would go well.
Yeah. Anyway, 450. Carry out the procedure for purifying the person with skin disease. Leviticus 14:2.
This shall be the Torah of the leper. For the day of his cleansing he shall be brought to the Kohen, and the Kohen shall go out of the camp. Then the Kohen shall look and see if the leprosy is healed in the leper. Then the Kohen shall command, and he shall take for him who is to be cleansed 2 live and clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the Kohen shall command, and he shall kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. Let him take the live bird, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and dip them and the live bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle it 7 times on him who is cleansed from the leprosy, and he shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the live bird loose in the open field.
Okay, so we just sprinkled a bunch of blood on somebody?
Yeah, we just threw a bunch of blood on a little bird.
Blood.
Let him go.
I don't know what this...
Kill the other bird, put him in the other bird's blood, and let him go.
Dip him in the blood, like, go ahead, you're free now. This bird's, like, traumatized.
It's a different world back then, right? Definitely a different world. Okay, 451, the diseased person must shave off all his hair prior to purification, Leviticus 14:9.
And on the 7th day it shall be that he shaves all the hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows.
Wow.
Even all his hair he shaves. He shall wash his garments, and wash his body in the water, and shall be clean.
All right, now why do we suppose we shave everything off?
So clean?
Make sure
over? Yeah, make sure there's nothing left.
I have no idea.
Why the eyebrows, though? What's up with your eyebrows?
I don't know.
It's hair.
Maybe it's like they know he's clean. Maybe it's a sign of, like, he's clean, he's got no eyebrows. That guy's clean.
So take a while.
Like
Yeah,
protection.
you're gonna look. Yeah, you're
You
gonna
look real
rough.
funky for a while.
Yeah, if you don't have eyebrows, it's probably going to look a little weird.
Yeah. All right. So here we are. The diseased person must shave all his hair. 452. To discover when a leprous infection is on a garment. Leviticus 13:46-47. How does this get to your clothes?
He is unclean all the days he has the infection. He is unclean. He is unclean, and he dwells alone. His dwelling place is outside the camp. And when a garment has an infection of leprosy in it, in a woolen garment or a linen garment, or in the wrap or in the weft of the linen, or wool or in leather, or in any leather work, and the infection shall be greenish or reddish in the garment, or in the leather, or in the wrap, or in the weft, or in any leather object, it is an infection of leprosy, and shall be known to the Kohen.
So leprosy was like a really, really bad thing.
Yeah,
right.
Do you still people with leprosy these days?
I don't think so. I don't know why it's gone. I'm sure
Glad it is.
I'm sure they would say, "Oh yeah, we gave them the vaccine. Now there's no leprosy." Right? That's not sure. So they did. Oh yeah, we cured the smallpox. Okay.
Might have actually cured leprosy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of them doing it. I'm sure some crazy people, the snakes going up the poles, would take the credit for this. I do not know, but I will. What I do know is that when it talks in other, I think it's in the New Testament. Remember when it talks about giving a leper like a clean garment, like a white garment, and it becomes trashed because his skin is all pussy. He's all pussy. Like literally, you'd have to rip this off of you because your body would fuse to it.
That's disgusting.
And you'd have to bathe a lot. Yeah, and I mean, it's leper. I mean,
You sit in the water all day at that point.
your arm falls off or something, right? It's not a good disease.
Yeah,
like
right.
eventually you fall to pieces, literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so to discover when a house is infected with a skin disease. Oh, we didn't. Do we do that one?
No, how?
Okay, to discover when a house is infected by a skin disease. Leviticus 14:35. You had your friend Peter the leper over, and now your house is infected. Great.
When you come into the land of Canaan, which I am giving to you as a possession, and I put a plague of leprosy in a house in the land of your possession, then shall the one who owns the house come and inform the Kohen, saying, "It seems to me that there is a plague in the house."
There's a plague in my house.
It seems to me my house is
It
plagued.
seems that there's a plague here. The Kohen just like,
And the Kohen
nice.
looks, and this guy's like, crap, they're going to tear my house down. It's like almost over. So the last thing they want to do is let them know there's a skin disease in the house. Okay, so yeah, normally that would lead to them tearing the house down. Okay, 454, to observe the laws of impurity, Leviticus 15:19.
And he said, and when a woman has a discharge or a discharge from her flesh's blood, she has to be in her separation for 7 days, and whoever touches her is unclean until evening.
Yeah, that is the law. I mean, this is one of these funky laws that we don't really talk much about. Let me just say it's one of the hardest laws that I have absolutely a tough time dealing with, because what this is saying, it is saying that when a woman is cycling, she is unclean, and everything that she touches is unclean. That would mean the food, that would mean the plates, that would mean the dishes and the towels and the sheet, everything, the chairs, everything. So I don't know the difference between back then and now, but I do know that this is a law. And so women are unclean for 7 days, and if you touch a woman, you're unclean as well. Go Eve. Thanks a ton for all this. Let's go to the next one.
To take a bite.
Yeah. To observe the laws, or for, what is it? 4:5. To observe the laws of impurity caused by childbirth, Leviticus 12:2.
Speak to the children of Israel, saying, when a woman has conceived and has given birth to a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, as in the days of her monthly separation she is unclean. And on the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin is circumcised, and she remains in the blood of her cleansing 33 days. She does not touch whatever is kodesh, and she does not come and make dash until the days of her cleansing are completed.
Life is in the blood. It doesn't matter what blood it is, but life is in the blood, and there's something about the blood that is special to our Creator. And so, that's when people get hurt, when people get cut, it's always usually like you got to get blood transfusions. It's all about the blood. And I think a blood transfusion would actually make you, I don't think Yah would want you to have a blood transfusion. I just don't think that you're
But that's where you're like low on blood and people ask for blood.
Yeah, you go find your same blood type and they jam you full of it.
That's wild.
It's probably better just to keel over, get real lightheaded, and go to sleep. I would say at that point instead of transfusing yourself. I don't know that to be true, but I wouldn't take a blood transfusion myself just because you're violating yourself with other blood. Where are we at? 456. Thank you, Eli. To observe the laws of impurity caused by an irregular discharge, Leviticus 15:25.
And when a woman has a discharge of blood for many days, other than the time of her monthly separation, and when she discharges beyond her usual time of monthly separation, all the days of her unclean discharge shall be as the days of her monthly separation. She is unclean.
That's that. 457. To observe the laws of impurity caused by a man's chronic discharge, Leviticus 15:2-3.
It says, speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when any man has a discharge from his flesh, his discharge is unclean, and this is his uncleanness in regard to his discharge. Whether his flesh runs with his discharge or his flesh is stopped up by his discharge, it is uncleanness.
Yeah, so again, it's not chronic discharge. Like, yeah, I know, I saw you fix it. Thank you, Eli. So I'm like, I don't know what that would honestly be. I'm probably like, I don't know if like zits and pimples and things of that nature, or like a giant cyst or pus, or I honestly don't know what that would be. But you got to be completely clean when you go to the Creator. So you're probably going to have to put in some vacation days if you end up pizza facing up or something.
Nice.
Yeah, if you have a mad case of acne, all of a sudden you're not going to make it in the temple because you're going to be discharging all that, and then you're going to be picking the scab when it's over. So I don't know. I don't know a lot of this stuff, guys. So if anyone knows out there, we're all doing this as a team. Okay, where are we at? 457.
Yes.
We're on 458 now.
458. Bad, Joey. Good, Elf. To observe the laws of impurity caused by contact with a dead animal. Leviticus 11:39.
And when any of the beasts which are yours or for food dies, he who touches his carcass becomes unclean until evening.
Can we eat the dead that
No.
died?
I mean, if it's unclean, we probably shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah. So we shouldn't be touching the dead either. 459. To observe the laws of impurity caused by contact with the 8 named creatures.
Yeah, okay.
Leviticus 11:29-31.
It said, and these are the unclean to you among creeping creatures that creep on the earth: the mole, and the mouse, and the tortoise at first kind, and the gecko, and the land crocodile, and the sand reptile, and the sand lizard, and the chameleon. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Anyone who touches them when they are dead becomes unclean until evening. Yeah,
so I guess we have an onslaught of mice. We live in the middle of the jungle, and it is I think it's far worse than any place you could ever be, because it's any holes in anything these mice will get into, and so we fight the mice a lot. But if they weren't unclean for us to eat, we would actually have a lot of food to eat. But they're nasty little creatures. Yep, 460. Observe the laws of impurity of a seminal emission. Leviticus 15:16.
All right. And when a man has an emission of semen, that he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until evening.
The boys are chuckling. It is what it is. Okay, so these are the laws, statutes, and commands. Let's try to be adults here, gentlemen.
It's just Eli.
It's just Eli sticking away here. Yes, gentlemen. Sorry, folks out there. We're trying to keep it together, And so here we are. These are the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, right? And so they are very important for men, for women, for all of the things that happen to us in our lives. There is a law and a guideline for it, and things that we should do, so we're not left hanging and not know what to do. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for spending this time with us and going over them. This one was kind of an R-rated one, and Eli's trying not to bust up, but we're going to do the best we can with this, and we're going to tell you guys goodbye, and that we love you from this family from down south. We truly appreciate your time that you're doing this. Guys, please read your Bibles. It's a new moon. So guys, after this, we're going to blow our shofars. We're not going to blow them on here because we don't have it ready, but it is a new moon tonight. Blow your shofars, and that is a commandment as well. I don't know where it's at. Did we get to this commandment yet?
I think we've already gone over this. I think we've gone over a lot of
blow your shofars?
Yeah.
On the new moon?
Yeah, I'm for sure.
I don't think so.
If we didn't, we did now.
Blow your shofars on the new month. All right, guys. Much love to everyone out there.
Shalom.
Ciao.